Just before Christmas 2024, Network Rail transferred two of their independent snowploughs north from Carlisle to Fort William. In true West Highland tradition, two Class 37s made the delivery, captured here at Helensburgh Upper. Following New Year, snow was replaced by wind and rain as a brutal storm ravaged the UK in January. The Oban and Fort William routes were largely closed for 3 days as fallen trees were removed and line proving checks completed. Hello, I'm Gordon.D.Webster, former journalist and railway history author, and you may remember me most recently from my two-part documentary on YouTube, The History of the West Highland Line, and also from the programme Inside Central Station. Today I'm on the West Highland Way, having a walk. I say walking up the West Highland Way, but in reality I found it's actually too icy and I'm actually going to take a more easier going path. This is heading up Connacht Hill near Loch Lomond and it's just far too icy. It was actually getting dangerous at one point, and to be fair, a kind lady did warn me on the way up passing that it was pretty icy and to watch what I was doing, so I decided I'm just going to go for a slightly easier route now. First of all, I want to take the opportunity to say thanks to everybody who liked, subscribed and took an interest in my History of the West Highland Line documentary. And I decided it was time for a follow-up video after waiting a few months. It was quite a long project, but I hope everybody enjoyed it. And I wanted to just have a sort of festive catch-up of what's been happening on the West Highland Line and other nearby parts of the railway network. So on now with some updates on the West Highland Line and the Greater Strathclyde area rail network, including an area which seems to be creating a lot of discussion at the moment in social media, which is platform end safety gates on the West Highland Line. Enjoy and have a great Christmas and a Happy New Year. Evidence of the 24th of January storms could still be seen at Garelochhead a few days later after the line to Fort William reopened. The West Highland is a line particularly susceptible to falling trees, with such a massive growth in vegetation in recent decades, and particularly on the section south of Crean-Larich. Red alert weather warnings of this sort are rare. 7-coach trains can once again be seen on the West Highland Line, now that platforms have been extended at many of the stations. As part of this, new metal safety gates have been erected at many platform ends for health and safety reasons, specifically to aid the blind and visually impaired. Many have questioned their practicality at such remote locations, especially that they are narrow enough for an average person to still walk round either side. The West Highland Line's one daily freight train is to be upgraded with newer wagons to carry the powdered bulk alumina from North Blyth to Fort William. Also used in this train from time to time are the two Class 66s kept specially clean for working the Royal Scotsman during the winter months when the luxury Land Cruise train is kept in store. 66743 was captured during January, working first the southbound empties and then the northbound loaded train. DTA tank wagons have been used on the alumina train since 1989 and are to be replaced by JPA bogie tankers, which are more commonly used on cement traffic. The change is planned to happen in June 2025. Just before Christmas, track was renewed on the West Highland Line around Helensburgh Upper, using metal sleepers and long welded rail. The first few miles of the route has been largely renewed in recent years, removing the older sections of bullhead rail jointed track. Also covered during a weekend renewal was parts of the electrified route from Helensburgh Central, including at Craigandorran Station, where vegetation removal took place in the disused former down platform. This was unfortunately not part of a reopening, but more likely for ease of access for the civil engineers. Since the start of the decade, customer experience on board ScotRail trains has been in serious decline. While the West Highland has attracted media attention before for cold trains in the depths of winter, it's currently the electric services which seem to be having issues. Since autumn 2024, passengers have been left freezing in most trains due to a lack of operational heating, particularly noticeable in early mornings and evenings. Inside sources suggest the current issues on the Helensburgh services are due to maintenance issues on the Class 334s. The Garelochhead services, by comparison, do not appear to suffer from the same issues. That is, despite the Class 318s and 320s used on the branch being some 10 to 15 years older than the 334s. Garelochhead to Airdrie services work largely the same route of the North Clyde line, except they take the short branch from Garelochhead to Garelochhead instead of west to Helensburgh. The contrast in comfort levels between the two services was also raised to ScotRail, but no answer was provided. The coldest day of the year up to this point, on 10th of January 2025, saw a ticket examiner on one of the evening services forced to shepherd passengers into the front four carriages of one particular Class 334 set because temperatures were so low at the other end. Unavailable toilets is another very common issue on the Helensburgh electric workings, with the vast majority of services having their toilets continually locked out of use. That's a journey time of up to 2 hours plus from Edinburgh Waverley to Helensburgh Central. A shocking statistic, and one which has also been raised to ScotRail but has not been addressed. Network Rail recently commented that passenger numbers are still not back to pre-COVID levels across Scotland, and more people need attracted back to the railway. Morning and evening rush hour passengers from Helensburgh and Dumbarton may beg to differ, especially on the trains that use a 3-car set instead of 6. We end this video on a positive note, looking forward to the beginning of spring and brighter days ahead. To get in the spirit for sunnier days in front of us, we'll look back to the Three Peaks Explorer Charter, captured at Garelochhead last June. We look forward to many more West Highland Line rail tours throughout 2025.